What is going on, GBA universe? My name is Brandon and welcome back to week number 9 of the Waiver Wire show. A show where we take a Pokemon that was not drafted in the GBA and basically figure out how they would be viable in the Counter League format. Now last week I gave you the choices of Alomomola, Scrafty, Diggersby, Sigilif, Samurott, and Torkoal. It wasn't actually as close as I thought, but Diggersby ended up taking the lead and staying in the lead. He ended up winning with 118 votes. Scrafty came in second with 84 votes. Sigilif and Samurott weren't too far behind with 69 and 60 respectively. And then Torkoal was 57 and Alomomola. No one wanted to see Alomomola only coming in with 38 votes. But thank you to everyone who voted. Stick around till the end of the episode to see who this week's Pokemon are. So basically what you want to see next week. I just couldn't get it out there. But this week, we're off and it's Diggersby. Now looking at Diggersby's stats, we can see that there's nothing really that impressive here. It's got an HP stat of 85, which isn't bad, 56 attack, which is nothing, 77 defense, 50 special attack, which is even less than nothing, 77 special defense, and 78 speed. Now, at first glance, these look like absolutely average, mediocre, less than mediocre stats, but then we find out about one of Diggersby's abilities. So why do I think Diggersby should have been drafted? Well, first off, it's a great way to block Volt Switch that can be easily predicted at times, especially great if you're facing a choiced Volt Switch user, which a lot of times can happen because a lot of Volt Switchers are sometimes choice scarfed. So bringing in Diggersby, blocking that Volt Switch, they have to hard switch now and then they're taking a hit with whatever they're bringing in. Speaking of choice items, Diggersby is pretty much the ideal choice user in the game. Scarfy can help you get those returns in faster to finish things off before they can even move. And a choice band can help you give that quick attack a little more power, which can be the difference between knocking your opponent out and not knocking your opponent out. And of course, last but nowhere near least, Diggersby gets the ability Huge Power, which just doubles Diggersby's attack stat. Now, it doesn't seem like it does much. Seeing how Diggersby has a 56 attack stat, that makes its attack stat 112. But just get hit by a Diggersby and then try to piece your jaw back together and then tell me how you feel about it. Just do that for me. Now, of course, there are reasons I don't think Diggersby was drafted, and probably the biggest one is that Diggersby is a surprising Tier 2 Pokemon in the Counter League format, making it probably too expensive for most coaches. Now, last year we saw Nips put a bunch of work in it with it, and he probably helped to get up to Tier 2, so if you want to blame somebody for Diggersby not getting drafted this year, go blame Nips, because he used it too well in the GBA last year. Its lackluster defenses and HP don't allow it to do much other than hit hard and hit quick. It just doesn't really do much other than that, and its move pool kind of doesn't allow it to be more than one-dimensional, and that's basically what it all boils down to. Diggersby's a little too one-dimensional to justify it being taken when it's a Tier 2. It's just too expensive and doesn't do enough to be a Tier 2, and that's why you don't see it drafted like you used to, because it used to be, I believe, a lower tier. I'm not sure where it used to be, but it was a lower tier before, now it's a Tier 2. It's just... But nonetheless, I shall still see what I can do with it in Pokemon Showdown, so let's head over there right now. Now here in Pokemon Showdown, the first two sets here I have are Choice Band and Choice Scarf. With the Choice Band, I just made it a Jolly Nature, 252 in speed, 252 in attack, 4 in HP. The Choice Scarf is just an Adamant Nature, 252 in speed, 252 in attack, 4 in HP. Like I said, Diggersby's very much one-dimensional in some ways, so this is basically what you're going to do. The Choice Band, I have Return, Quick Attack, Ice Punch, and U-Turn. And on the Choice Scarf set, I have Return, Quick Attack, Knock Off, and Earthquake. Diggersby gets a multitude of moves that you could be using. Gunk Shot if you're facing a Fairy type. You could use the Iron Head if you're facing a Fairy type if you really wanted to. You could use Superpower. There's Thunder Punch. She gets Fire Punch. Rock Slide. So you have some nice coverage for a Choice Scarf, Choice Band user, but then it's a matter of which one to use and when to use it, and it becomes a problem of having a choice item as well at the end. The next set I have here is actually Leftovers Huge Power, Substitute Focus Punch, Ice Punch, Quick Attack with 4 HP, 252 in attack, 252 in speed, Jolly Nature. Substitute, you're basically going to throw that Substitute up, maybe get a Focus Punch off, have the Ice Punch for coverage, and then the Quick Attack for priority that hits hard with the Stab as well. This could be do really well if you're expecting the switch, or if you can do exactly what I was talking about earlier. Switch in on a choiced Volt Switch user, and then get the Substitute up, and then you can get that Focus Punch off. You're going to do a lot of damage to something, because Diggersby's got a Huge Power, and the Focus Punch, whew, stand back. And of course, if you just want to get really ignorant, Focus Sash, Huge Power, Endeavor, Quick Attack, 252 in attack, negative defense nature, 252 in speed. You make sure you get all the way down to 1. If you got a Pokemon on your opponent's team you just really want to take out, and you just really don't want to deal with it, and you could go, and you're willing to get rid of it, you're willing to just 1-for-1 your Pokemon, just throw that Endeavor, Focus Sash, Quick Attack on Diggersby. take it down to 1, Endeavor, whatever it is. Maybe it's a Mega Aggron that you really want to take out that you know you're not going to be able to take out with anything else. So it's just that, Endeavor it, quick attack it, it's gone. Now deal with the rest of your opponent's team. Another thing I tried to do is I tried to make like a spike set for Diggersby, but he doesn't have enough stuff where it's like I tried putting Super Fang with it to it's just, but nothing really like materialized of it, and I couldn't find any sets I really liked. He does get spikes in Super Fang though if you want like those utility moves, but it's hard because you'd have to maybe give him a nature, like a defensive nature, and then you'd have to give him maybe a Citrus Berry with Cheek Pouch, and then the spikes and the Super Fang. I couldn't find. He doesn't get Stealth Rocks. If he got Stealth Rocks, you could probably use him as a really nice utility mon, but that's probably not going to help his tier situation being already too high tiered. But I digress. As for next week, I went through the comments of last week's Waiver Wire show, and here are the Pokemon you guys were asking to put on the straw poll. Murkrow was asked for again, so Murkrow returns to the straw poll. Ursaring, Vileplume, Probopass, Yanmega, and Electrode. So make sure you get your votes in for that. What do you want to see next week on the Waiver Wire show? And I'm going to make the decision now that next week's votes will be strictly Megas. I want to see all the Megas, and we're gonna put literally every Mega that wasn't drafted. We're gonna have on the vote next week. So we're gonna do a Mega Waiver Wire show from 2 weeks from now. So make sure you stay tuned for that. But that is going to be it for me. Make sure you check out all the stuff down below, like the GBA Twitter, the GBA fan doc, the GBA site, all the coaches. That'll all be in the description down below. Make sure to leave a like on the video, and I will see you guys next week right here on the Waiver Wire show.